guys, it's me, Meteor. Here we are back to Kirby the Mason Meteor. Today we're doing the boss endurance. Let's go ahead and begin. First opponent is a Waddle Dee, but that's not all this time. It's actually two mini bosses here. The first one is Bombbar, who could actually bombard you with several different RNG type attacks. Basically, some of the attacks he gives are completely unavoidable depending on what kind of order he shoots them in. But we'll get to that if he actually does it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and avoid the attacks in the meantime. Stay in this little corner here. Left corner is quite nice. You can avoid pretty much everything he does. Except for one attack. There's only one. That attack right there. Now, sometimes after you grab the first set, he'll immediately send off another two missiles like right after it. Like that right there, for example. Thankfully, I hit him with the bombs before he actually went the second time. And now we have Boxer, possibly the least fun mini boss there is in the game. Not only is he super quick and kind of annoying and has long range, his HP is also the highest of any mini boss, taking I think 5 hits. And the only attack that is actually safe to launch back at him is the actual fire attack. Now you may notice that these mini bosses are a bit faster than what you might have seen in the main game. That's not your eyes playing tricks on you. These mini bosses in the boss rush are actually sped up versions. Now, you might have seen me fight a Fan before in the main game, and that Fan was super quick. Well, all these mini bosses go at that same speed, so you don't have much time to actually grab anything. Like that right there, for example. I tried to grab a star from him landing, but immediately as soon as I grabbed it, he was managed to pick me up right when I hit him. So, yeah. Only do that on the last hit. Like, if you drop some stars there on the last hit, and he could die in one more hit, don't even bother waiting for his little charge up launch attack. Just hit him with a star and that's it. Like that right there. Bam! He's gone. Boxer is down. Think we don't have to deal with that guy anymore. And now we have Mega Titan. Quite annoying. You gotta be good or awesome. Pretty much just grab stars and jump over them. Not really all too much difficult. Just see right there. Oh, doing some good job. Okay. Oh, I hit the hand. I was doing a good did a lot of good dodging there for a moment, but oh well, no big deal. And wait for it. There we go. Alright, one more hit, Mega Titan should be down. Just need to grab one more. Ouch! I hit his fire apparently. Looks like I went into his direct line of fire. Let's just kill him off. And unfortunately for Mega Titan, he is only a head now. So he's gonna be blasted by, he has like 52 hits is all it takes to actually kill a guy, because each hit does 50% damage. Unfortunately for him, he'll never get ahead in life. Alright, let's just move on to the next boss. Dark Meta Knight, or question mark, disguise himself as regular Meta Knight. Basically, don't even bother moving unless he actually walks up to you slowly, in which case, if he doesn't stop from a certain distance and just keeps moving, he's going to try to upward slab you or just walk right into you. So at that point, you want to jump right over him, but either way, I'd recommend just staying in one place and wait to see if he's going to jump or shoot a sword at you. It's a lot easier to dodge his sword attack than his actual slash attack there, because his slash attack has almost no leeway room for actual dodging. You pretty much have to see it and react in a matter of seconds. Either way, now we have Wiz here. I could either do really good against this boss or really terrible. It really all depends, based on his RNG of what he decides to launch out at you and where he moves. Basically, no matter how many times you practice up against this boss, you'll never actually truly master this boss. You either do really good or really terrible. There is no middle ground. Unfortunately, that's also true for a lot of bosses in this current boss endurance and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. And for that very reason, I think this is probably one of the worst boss endurances in the game, or in any of the Kirby series. Not really because of the difficulty of the bosses themselves, but that a lot of the bosses are based entirely on RNG. Now, granted, the later Kirby games are a lot harder when it comes to the boss endurance than this one, but this one is only hard for the wrong reasons. Like, you'll never truly master any boss, but RNG is not always bad. I mean, Kirby Superstar Ultra did this quite fantastically. There was an RNG for a lot of the bosses. However, there was never ever a single attack that you couldn't dodge. Pretty much all the attacks had some kind of tell or something that you could easily move out of the way if need be, even if it's only a matter of seconds to react. However, these bosses, sometimes you get in a certain position where it's literally impossible to move out of the way. Now, I'm not saying he's doing anything right now that pretty much is like that. I'm not saying every attack is impossible to dodge. I'm not saying all attacks are. However, there are some, especially which you'll see, where you pretty much have no way of escaping. But we'll get to that later. Either way, let's just go here to King Golem. He's actually quite simple. He's just pretty much a Wispy Woods, knockoff, except he actually shoots at rocks instead. And I ran right into that rock. That's really my own fault right there. Pretty much the same thing exact. He pretty much works exactly like Wispy Woods would, except instead of apples, he shoots out rocks. Not really all too much exciting. And he's dead. Well, that was hard. And now we have these mini-bosses. We have Batafire. Batafire is kind of interesting. There's one little key spot to actually dodge the attack. If you just stay in, like, not the very corner, but at this corner right here, you can either jump over him, or if he lands back down, like, slowly, he can stop. Just wait till he gets in the middle, slowly, grab this, hit him there, grab another one, hit him right there, and then get back to this little spot right there while you're safe. He can actually dive in at you, and if he moves down really quickly, like diving like that, you're still safe. This is the safe spot right here to actually dodge. By the way, you get back to this corner, and then he's dead. Batafire is gone. You inhale a ball of fire because you're Kirby, and you can do that kind of thing. I mean, Kirby can inhale all sorts of stuff, like an entire giant laser beam from Queen Sectonia. But whatever, that's another story for another day. Oh, there was food in that prison. Okay, well, I wasn't really trying to grab some food, but alright. So I'm gonna head over to this box and grab this one. Okay, there's food in that one too. I'm not complaining, but I'm not really attempting to heal myself right now. But whatever works, it's quite alright. Now, Boxy is actually kind of annoying when he's in the super speed mode like this, because almost as soon as she lets off a present, she actually pretty much charges right after you sometimes. So it's a little bit harder than you fight in the actual main games, but still nothing too bad. Now we have the master of RNG himself, the Master Hand. Now, all of his attacks are dodgeable, except for one, sometimes. Now, usually the Master Hand there sometimes, launches his gun, actually. Pretty much you could jump out of the way and have him guide his hand up towards you. I guess he didn't do that time. But sometimes he'll try using his little grab attack. His grab attack is only avoidable in certain times if RNG wants to be nice to you. Like that right there, was at the perfect distance away from him to where I could actually dodge that attack. But that's not always the case, as you're going to see later, possibly. But anyway, let's go inside this and fight these mini-bosses. These mini-bosses are, of course, quite easy. All three of these are the classic mini-bosses you've come to know and love from all the Kirby games. First, we have Mr. Frosty, or Mr. Flosty, if you will, for that horrible typo and mistranslation. But whatever. Either way, it works the same way as normal. He's just gonna jump around, do absolutely nothing, and shoot ice blocks at you that all you can do is just launch right back at him. And maybe he'll slightly run towards you ever so slowly, whichever he wants to do, like that right there, and he's dead. Mr. Frosty is a complete joke in every way, shape, and form. Next, we have Bonkers. Just lead him. Oh, he's not going to stop. He's just going to run up to the wall and hit the other side. He does that sometimes. Either way, same thing. He's going to shoot off some kind of coconut or whatever it is and launch it back at you. Just lead him, have him jump up, land right back down, grab, and he's dead. Now we have Fan Fan. Launch it and then jump out of the way quickly. Sometimes he could dash charge at you almost instantaneously, in which case you want to get out of there as soon as possible. Because you don't have, if he starts rolling, you have no chance to dodge at all. He moves way too quick. I mean, look at that. I just barely got out of the way and I started jumping up before he even rolled. So that's the problem there. Either way, Fan Fan's dead. And there you go. Yay, all the mini buses are gone. Now we have Gobbler. Now, this boss, I really have no strategy for it all. I just use my, screw it, I'm bum rushing it strategy. Basically, the strategy to this is, screw it, just bum rush it. Just keep using the water, just keep shooting it basically as much as you can. The only real strategy here is right here. If you launch these little babies at you, you want to alternate between to the left and up when you actually shoot a water streams out, so you can avoid the babies. That's really the only strategy I really have against it. Now we have Moly here, good old Moly, who's also based somewhat off RNG, depending on what he wants to throw at you. He can either throw an item that you can actually inhale, he can throw something that you can't inhale, or he'll just start throwing spam random things that you can't possibly dodge because you're not at the right angle to avoid them. But whatever, that's another story for another day. Well, actually, no, it's not, because this is actually, we're doing this right now. Now's the story to talk about this, not another day. Either way, just, yep, alright, doing so good so far. So far you're not just barraging me with a random bunch of junk that you have underneath your little molehill or whatever. Ah, I dodged that. Alright, I'm not complaining. I somehow managed to dodge that. Okay, now he's going to do this little bum rush thing. And, okay, I really don't know how to dodge all those at all. But whatever. Whatever. 2 more hits and you're pretty much dead. Just stand here. 1 more hit and you're dead. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we are. You're dead. Yay! And now we have Master and Crazy Hand. Yay! These bosses are so much fun. Alright. I thought you were going to actually try to punch underneath. Like that right there. Sometimes they don't always make contact. So just be careful when you see that. I'll just float up here. Grab a star. Hit you. Land back down. Try to grab a star. I missed somehow grabbing a star. Okay, whatever. Alright, just grab. Come on. Okay, didn't grab anything. That's fine. That's fine too. That's always fine. Now, you'll see this combo quite often. One's actually starting to shoot missiles at you. The other one's trying to punch you. Just avoid that at all costs. Alright. And 3 more hits and Master Hand should be down. And I thought you were gonna... Okay, well, we'll move out of the way just in time for me to get grabbed. Alright, thankfully you're not gonna try to grab me there. Now you'll notice when it comes to their grab attacks and some other attacks, when you only have one of them, when they're both on field, they'll really stay in their sector, like on the left or right side, for the most part. So not gonna really go all too far until pretty much both of them, or one of them is actually taken out. And I am really not doing good against this boss whatsoever. Alright, just gonna jump up here, grab you, hit you, and didn't dodge in time. Okay, hopefully I don't die here, but whatever. I really should have thought that through. Alright. And now I have to take you out 3 times. 3 hits with you. I'll just stay down here. Thanks. Yep. Alright. Just wait for it. Yep. Still gonna avoid that fist. Alright. Give me something to work with here. And got you to actually move up a little bit so I can actually safely dodge that last one. Quite nice. And didn't grab me, fool. Didn't grab me. Haha. Alright. Gonna slam at me? Nope. Alright. How was I supposed to dodge that? Seriously. I was at the very right corner of the map. I don't understand. Don't you freaking dare. Alright, well that's taken out. Now our last boss before the final 4, essentially, is Krakow. Krakow's not really all too hard. His attacks are pretty much very predictable. I say for the most part, because sometimes they're not. Well, they're still predictable, sometimes you just have a harder time dodging them. Either way, per the norm, just float above him, don't actually stay at one corner, because he will hit you in that corner, whether you like it or not. It's not a safe haven like it is in most Krakow fights. So, just avoid that at all costs. Yep, I'm gonna float over you again, don't want to get hit by that little electric beam of death. Also known as lightning. Electric beams of death are usually known as lightning, contrary to popular belief, you know, whatever. But basically, alright, yep, this corner is completely fine. Gotta love this corner. This corner is very nice. I feel like I'm playing Return to Dreamland all over again. Except that was pretty much the entire game where you can just stand in a corner and avoid pretty much like 95% of any attack and projectiles. But whatever. I really should have gotten to a corner first before shooting that back out. But whatever, that's fine. Just wait for you here. Yep. And float over you again. Alright, just waiting. Come on, give me something to work with. Alright, there we go. Now just one more hit, and you're dead. Yay! Everything is fun. Let's just grab this Maximum Potato for that 1 health. Totally useful. And now we have Dark Meta Knight for real this time. The final battle against him. He's going to launch out his little attack. Or next, you know, he's going to tell us, hey, that's not me. That's Dark Meta Knight. It's an imposter. Kill the imposter. Alright, Dark Meta Knight, you asked for it. Yep, just gonna stand here until you actually attack me or something. Okay, good. Okay, there's no way I could have possibly dodged that unless I, you know, had like reflexes of like a computer or something. Tool assist! Speaking of tool assist, I was actually very tempted to use save states for this. I'm not even joking, I was really tempted. Thankfully, I didn't. I have the raw file to prove it if you really don't believe me that I didn't use save states. I mean... And no, I'm not using an emulator. I'm using the Wii U version. Save states do exist in the Wii U version. Anyway, that went really, really well. Nice. Good job, Self. How does Kirby stand in one place when the earth shakes underneath him? Well, I guess he can float, so I guess that makes sense. Whatever. Alright, so now we have Dark Mind Form 1. What's my strategy for this? good luck. That's really all I. That's really the only strategy I have. I mean, you could tell what attacks he's going to do and when for the most part, but like for example, you could. I mean, there's really no safe way to unless you float. I mean, I guess. Now, certain angles, and the thing is that the hardest part to dodge is the actual stars, the random placements of the stars. Now, some attacks you can read, like if he's right there, he's going to shoot out an orb again. If he's in that corner, going to lay it back down, he's going to shoot up a whole stream of stars like this. Pretty much my strategy here is try to grab 2 stars at once, as I did it! Yes! Try to grab 2 stars at once at the same time, because that completely wrecks space with him. Oh man, that was just dumb luck. There was no strategy there at all. I mean, basically, like I said, the main strategy to again is because you're still gonna fight all forms of Dark Mind and Dark Magnetic with the same health bar. So you need to be quick and get lucky because Dark Mind at full health. How did that not even hit you? I could see not hitting the mirrors, but that didn't even hit your eye. I don't know how that even worked. But basically, Dark Mind Form 2 is immensely easier overall than Dark Mind Form 1. And pretty much the only way I've really beaten Dark Mind Form 1 with no abilities is by getting lucky, by grabbing 2 at the same time. And if I don't grab 2 at the same time when I kill Dark Mind Form 1, I have like maybe 2 health left to take on Dark Mind. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Either way, you'll notice what I'm doing here. You'll see that he actually has these little mirror attacks, and my main goal here is to try and attempt to grab 2 enemies at the same time. You want to hit his mirrors, because his mirrors do the most damage to him, but you'll notice when you do break a mirror, it actually shards into 4 directions. You cannot inhale those shards, but they can hurt you immensely, so stay out of the way from them. This laser attack, just pretty much this little angle right there, if you float right there, you could avoid it entirely. But good luck getting there in time, just saying. Either way, you're pretty much gonna do, you'll see all the mirror attacks and everything. Once he gets down to half health, he changes it up a bit. In the meantime, he's pretty predictable for the most part. I mean, otherwise, this one, I didn't dodge it in time. Whatever. Alright, grabbed 2 there. I'm just gonna let the little penguin guy there, little Panky, just stand right there. Look how much damage that does. Pretty much a double star does double damage, and it hit the eye, and it also continues through the eye and hits the mirror. So it's actually very powerful. Especially if you hit the mirror first, it'll actually close his eye before he actually hits you. Now that laser attack he just did there could sometimes be undodgeable as well, because if he uses that at a certain angle, you could be like locked up against a corner and you have no chance of dodging it. Either way, I'm just gonna try to grab 2. I'll just grab 1. Alright, that works. Now you'll see him flip the stage upside down. I should have actually launched that the other way so I could grab that. Whoops. Whatever. Either way, Shadow Kirby has my back. He's like, alright, here, have a sword. Why not? Have free ammo. Whatever. But basically, this is the first boss in a Kirby game to actually flip this stage upside down. The second boss was actually Ice Doomer EX, and the second one was, let's see, Magalor's Soul. Magalor's Soul is actually just Magalor main form. But either way, Dark Mind is now out. And now we have to do the shmup version of this final boss. You have to do the last form with 3 health. That's completely fine as long as I don't mess this up somehow. Because now I could see myself getting hit once. Maybe twice. But there's no way I'm going to hit 3 times. There's pretty much no way. Basically, now granted you still need to be careful because you don't want to make any reckless mistakes. You don't want to get all the way here and ruin everything. So basically just keep firing him. You see him shoot stars, move out of the way. Basically the strategy of every shmup ever. Just avoid bullets and shoot. That's basically all the strategy there is for shmups. Yeah, there are bullets, dodge them, and there are enemies, shoot them. Have fun at that point. But basically, yep, he is pretty much dead. Okay, cool. Just hit him a few more times for the final measure. And of course, that's gonna be the end of Dark Mind. Hooray! And we get this cool little picture too. You're the champion. So we are now finished with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, and that's gonna be a good game. Now, of course, I still have one more thing to show off. I'll show off the rest of the mini games, but that's going to be saved for next time. So, see you guys then.